Vanny. Vanny appears to be an ordinary security guard, but beneath that white rabbit mask lies something far more sinister. She's not just another employee, she's William Afton's latest puppet. Through Glitchtrap, the digital remnant of Afton found in the old arcade games, he corrupted her mind, turning her into his willing accomplice. Vanny doesn't just hunt Gregory through the pizza-plex, she enjoys it, her childlike skipping, her sing-song voice calling out, "Gregory, where are you?" It's all part of the game for her. She carries a knife, and she's not afraid to use it. Unlike the other animatronics who are driven by programming or possess souls, Vanny chooses to kill. She wants to hurt children. What makes Vanny truly terrifying isn't her weapon or her mask. It's the fact that she looks human. She could be anyone. The friendly security guard who offers to help you find your parents. The nice lady who works at the gift shop. In a world of obvious monsters, Vanny reminds us that sometimes the most dangerous predators wear human faces, and that makes her presence in Security Breach absolutely bone-chilling. Shadow Bonnie. Some animatronics kill you with jump scares, others hunt you through hallways. But Shadow Bonnie kills you with his mere presence and you never see it coming. Shadow Bonnie first appeared in FNAF 2, but not as a standard threat. He's a dark silhouetted figure, a twisted shadow of the original Bonnie. Unlike other animatronics, Shadow Bonnie doesn't follow patterns or routes. He simply appears, usually in your office, without warning, without sound. When Shadow Bonnie manifests in your office, staring at you with those hollow white eyes, you have seconds to react. Looking at him too long causes your game to crash. Not a jump scare, not a game over screen. The entire game shuts down, as if his very existence corrupts the reality around him. But what is Shadow Bonnie? Some believe he's the ghost of an employee who died in a Spring Bonnie suit accident. Others think he's a glitch in the system, a digital poltergeist born from corrupted code. The truth might be even worse. Shadow Bonnie could be a manifestation of guilt itself. The shadow of every crime committed in those pizza places, every child who went missing, every cover-up that followed. When Shadow Bonnie appears, he doesn't need to kill you directly. His presence alone is enough to remind you that some horrors are too dark for reality to contain. And that's what makes him one of the most unsettling entities in the entire FNAF universe. Scraptrap. Scraptrap is what happens when nightmares decay and rot for 30 years. After surviving the burning of Fazbear's Fright, William Afton didn't just disappear, he evolved into something far worse. The Spring Bonnie suit that once trapped his corpse has deteriorated beyond recognition. William Afton was the main antagonist of the Five Nights at Freddy's series. He was the co-founder and owner of Fazbear Entertainment and Afton Robotics, LLC, as well as a serial killer, responsible for most of the incidents and tragedies throughout the series. Large portions of his suit are torn apart, revealing the skeletal endoskeleton underneath. His skull, yes, his actual human skull, now stares through the broken mask with hollow, empty sockets. The yellow fur has turned a sickly, moldy green. His right arm is completely missing, leaving exposed wiring and metal bones. But it's his face that truly disturbs. Where Scraptrap had some semblance of the Spring Bonnie mask, Scraptrap's head is wrong, elongated, alien, as if the decay has twisted not just his body, but his very essence. In Pizzeria Simulator, Scraptrap isn't just hunting you, he's being drawn to you. His thirst for blood is so strong, he'll put himself in dangerous scenarios just to ease his sadistic needs. He moves with purpose, with intelligence. This isn't just a mindless animatronic anymore. This is William Afton, 30 years of hatred and decay given form. And when you hear his voice in the vents, that familiar British accent now distorted and broken, you know one thing for certain, he always comes back. The Blob, in the depths beneath the pizzaplex, something massive stirs. Something that defies explanation, defies logic, defies every natural law. The Blob isn't just one animatronic, it's a writhing mass of every animatronic fused together into one nightmarish entity. Picture this. Dozens of animatronic heads, limbs, and endoskeleton parts twisted together like a mechanical tumor. Funtime Freddy's face peers out from the tangle. Circus Baby's head hangs at an unnatural angle. Ballora's mask stares with empty sockets. All of them connected by miles of wiring, cables, and what appears to be Fun-to-Met Freddy's head from the chest cavity. The Blob moves through the underground tunnels like a metallic snake, its massive form undulating through spaces that should be too small to contain it. When it rises from the depths, its size is incomprehensible, easily the length of several city blocks. And every single face in that mass is aware, watching, waiting. But here's what makes the Blob truly terrifying. It's not random. This isn't just scrap metal fused together by accident. The Blob represents something far more sinister. The collective trauma of every child who died in these places, every animatronic that was destroyed, every horror that was supposed to be buried and forgotten. The Blob is proof that in the FNAF universe, nothing ever truly dies. It all just accumulates, waiting for its moment to rise again. Endo 0-1. Most people focus on the colorful exteriors, the friendly faces, the entertaining personalities of the animatronics. But strip all that away, and what do you find? The skeleton, the bare bones, the mechanical horror that lies beneath every friendly facade. Animatronics are machines that power the mascots at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and the main antagonists of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. According to Phone Guy, they must be allowed to walk around at least at night. Otherwise, they will encounter mobility issues as a result of some sort of malfunction, claimed to be caused by their servos locking up. Endo 01 is the endoskeleton, the metal framework that gives animatronics their shape and movement. In the first game, you might catch glimpses of it in the parts and service room, standing motionless among the spare heads and limbs. But when the power goes out, when the systems fail, Endo 01 becomes active. And that's when you realize how truly terrifying these machines are without their disguises. He also states that their programming forbids the presence of endoskeletons without outer shells. He claims that if they see a human without a costume, they assume you're an endoskeleton without its suit, and will try to help you by stuffing you into a spare Freddy Fazbear costume, complete with crossbeams, wires, and animatronic devices that will crush your body. Endo 01 represents the cold, mechanical truth behind the illusion of friendly entertainment. It's pure function without form, death without decoration. When you see Endo 01 standing in that dark corner, you're not looking at a character or a personality. You're looking at a killing machine. Glamrock Chica, she's bright, she's colorful. She's got that 80s rock star vibe that makes the new Pizzaplex feel fun and exciting. Until 6 a.m. rolls around, and that cheerful demeanor becomes your worst nightmare. The Glamrock animatronics are revamped punk rock-themed characters from Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. They appear in Five Nights at Freddy's, Security Breach, its Ruined DLC, and Help Wanted 2 as primary antagonists. Glamrock Chica sports bright pink and yellow coloring, with leg warmers and a punk rock aesthetic. She's supposed to be the fitness enthusiast of the Glamrock band, always encouraging kids to stay active and eat healthy, which makes her midnight behavior all the more disturbing. When the lights go out, Glamrock Chica becomes obsessed with one thing: food, but not pizza or chicken nuggets. She wants to eat Gregory. To stop her, you have to trick her into entering the trash compactor in the kitchen, where she gets crushed and shattered. The irony is sickening. The animatronic who preaches healthy eating becomes a cannibalistic predator. What makes Glamrock Chica particularly unsettling is her deterioration throughout the night. Her beak becomes unhinged, her voice becomes distorted, and her movements become increasingly erratic. By the end, she's crawling through garbage, desperately searching for Gregory while making disturbing eating sounds. Cupcake? Yeah, don't let the name fool you. Carl the Cupcake, or Mr. Cupcake as he's sometimes called, might look like a harmless dessert, but he's proven to be one of the most persistent and unpredictable threats in the FNAF universe. Carl made his debut alongside Chica in the original Five Nights at Freddy's, sitting innocently on her tray as she roamed the halls. But players quickly learned that this wasn't just a prop. Carl had a life of his own. In later games, particularly FNAF 2, Carl would sometimes appear independently, jumping at players when they least expected it. What makes Carl truly unsettling isn't his size or his design, it's his unpredictability. While other animatronics follow patterns and rules, Carl seems to operate on pure chaos. He can appear anywhere, at any time, often when you're focused on bigger threats. It's psychological warfare at its finest, making players paranoid about every shadow, every corner, every seemingly innocent object. In Security Breach, Carl returns with a vengeance, now capable of independent movement and showing up in the most unexpected places throughout the Pizzaplex. He's small enough to hide almost anywhere, making him nearly impossible to track or predict. Players have reported jump scares from Carl when they thought they were completely safe. Carl the Cupcake proves size doesn't matter. Terror comes in all packages. Sometimes the smallest threats are the most dangerous because you never see them coming. Phone Guy. Phone Guy was the one friendly voice guiding you through the darkness. Ralph, better known as Phone Guy, is the deuteragonist of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and the tritagonist of Five Nights at Freddy's 3. He most recently makes his appearance as the protagonist of Five Nights at Freddy's interactive novel, The Week Before, where his name is revealed to be Ralph, after 10 years of going unnamed. Voiced by Scott Cawthon himself, Phone Guy was a night guard just like you. He worked at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza during the day shift, then stayed behind to record those messages. Those warnings that would later save countless night guards' lives. But Phone Guy knew something was wrong. He knew about the animatronic's behavior. He knew about the missing children, and yet he stayed. Night after night, he'd call you with tips. Check the lights, close the doors, conserve your power. His voice was calm, reassuring, even when describing the most horrifying situations. But then came night 4 of the first game. The call begins normally, but something's different. Phone Guy sounds distant, worried, and then you hear it. The sounds of Freddy's music box, the groaning of metal, Phone Guy's panicked breathing. "Oh no! Oh no!" The line goes to static. It's assumed that Foxy was responsible for Phone Guy's death, though the exact circumstances remain unclear. Phone Guy, Ralph, the man who tried to help everyone survive, couldn't save himself. His final moments were spent in that same office where you now sit, facing the same animatronics that would later hunt you. The greatest tragedy? He never got to say goodbye.